What's up? PipSnipers here, back for another update. Let's take a look at the PulseChain ecosystem today. And so far, what we have is an accumulation type structure. I know a lot of you are worried, but don't worry because this looks like it's going to break out to the upside because we have these overlapping waves here. Now, there is always a possibility that this continues to keep going down like that, and we see bullish invalidation, but this is something we don't have to worry about yet because we're still holding this structural support over here along with the 78.6% fib. Remember what I said in my last video. If PulseX loses the 786 over here, then it's very likely that we're going to invalidate this bullish scenario and it won't be good. But so far, everything is looking good for that push to the upside. Now, in order for us to get this push, we need to see two things. So we can drop down to the small time frame over here and analyze what's going on. So what it looks like is, so like I said in my last video, I think what we're going to see is one push down to sweep these lows towards 402010, I believe, and then we see the nice pop up from there, and then this over here would be your A, B, and then your C for your subwave. Okay, now there's also a scenario in which we terminate before setting a new low. Now all we got to do to find those support targets is take a fib from this low over here up to this high, and what you tend to see is a move towards the 618 down to the 786. So we're right on the 618 over here. We could just continue to go up like this, but we would need to take out this high sitting at 404549 in order to confirm a change of structure, right? So we can bounce right now down towards this region here at the 786. Okay. If we lose this 786 at 402665, then it's likely we're going to do this scenario where we slightly sweep this low towards 402022. Okay. I'll make it red so you guys can differentiate between the two trajectories I'm trying to show you guys. Okay, this is what we would see. Okay, so these support levels is what you would want to be looking at, and look for a bounce to come in within this region. Okay, so from now, and if we come down towards the 786 here. Now, from a Wyckoff point of view, I was saying this in my last video, what you tend to have is your selling climax. This is where everyone is panicking over here. And then you come up for an automatic rally, your secondary test, your failed break, and then your secondary test in phase B, slightly sweeping your secondary test lows, or coming down and slightly sweeping your selling climax. Okay, so this is just the psychology of the market. After your secondary test in phase B comes in, either over here or over here, we would come up for your last point of support. Okay, so we would come up, come down for a test, and then come up for your last point of support, and then off to the races we go. Okay, so you want to be looking within this range over here. I feel like market makers are accumulating here for the anticipation of that final push to the upside for altcoins. And I think if we do blast off here, it's going to be one straight line up, considering where Bitcoin dominance is. I think Bitcoin dominance is definitely topped out, and all the altcoins are waking up. So it wouldn't surprise. I don't think that. My best guess would be I would say the best inference I can make would be that people aren't done speculating on the Richard Hart ecosystem. I think there's going to be continuous. I think bullish speculation is going to continue with this ecosystem. And if we want to take a look at the targets, we would just take a fib from the highest recorded price within this pennant down to the low like this, and go on the linear scale so we can get some conservative targets and look at the 2.618, 3.618, and 4.236% extension. Okay, so we would be targeting the 3.618 and the 4.236 for our first point of interest. Okay, and this is our range here, like that. So from the current price, let's just say you YOLO'd in right now. From the current price, that would be about a 16x. Okay, and this is just minimum target. I think it's going to go higher than this. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at PLS over here. Let me just make sure I got the right one. I think it's this one. Yeah, okay, so this is PLS over here. And very similar concept. We came up to this trendline resistance, came down to tap structural support, and it looks like we have come down towards the 70.2% fib right here. Okay. So it's either we see a push off this region and then confirm a change of character, right? Or we lose the 786 and then come down towards this level, slightly sweeping this low. Okay, so we would come down to, I believe that's 403897, and then we would see the push off from there. Okay, this is what I'm thinking here for PLS. And then for the targets, what we're going to do is take a fib from this high, from the highest recorded price down to the low, to the lowest recorded price within this range. We're going to take a look at the linear scale and do the same thing we did on PulseX. Okay. So we'd be looking at the 4.236% extension. And that would be minimum, so about 18 to 20x. Okay, so same thing as PulseX. Okay, so these are the two different trajectories. Okay, right here. So like I was saying in my previous videos, what you tend to have at the bottom is you have exactly this. So this is when the news comes out, right? And then people slowly realize, and then you have a sudden drop. This becomes your selling climax. And this is where you get the most selling. This is the most fear comes in right here. People are just in panic. They're in a state of, gridlock. They can't even make a decision because they're just so shocked at this drop. And this is the psychology of the market. So this is your selling climax, and then you have your automatic rally, because this is all the market makers buying the dip. of all of the supply that enters into the market, and we had just that. Richard Hart, I believe, deployed funds when we had the selling climax to buy this dip, caused an automatic rally to the upside, and then you're going to have your secondary test, right? This is when all the people think, oh, okay, it's going to come down and make a new low below this low. What happens is they get stopped out of all of their shorts, and then you have your fail break. So this is your fail break out of the range highs. This is when all the people get back into the market just for them to go back underwater again for their secondary test in phase B, slightly sweeping the secondary test low. Okay, now this is where you'd want to go long. This is what we see with PulseChain and PulseX. This is where you'd want to get long, and usually the secondary test in phase B comes down towards the 702, 786 retracement. What I've seen is 786, 886, so around here, like this. Okay, like that. Come down within this region, and then we would see the pop off from there, right? So this is your secondary test in phase B, your initial advance, your throwback, and then continuation. And then the worst case scenario is we come down and slightly sweep your selling climax low. So it would do something like this. Then you have your initial advance back to the range lows as resistance. And then once you get above it, you would flip long. You would flip long, wait for your secondary test. Sorry, your test, and then your continuation. Okay, now this is exactly what we see with the ecosystem. Okay, so just something I thought would be helpful. Now let's take a look here at HEX over here. Now HEX is doing exactly what we said in the previous video. It's come down to the median over here, and it's holding the median. So what we would want to see here going forward is just a continuous push and grind off of this median so we can have continuation. Now, to find the targets, just take a fib from the highest recorded price down to the lowest recorded price within the range, and take a look at the 1.618, 2.618, 3.618, and so forth. Okay, so from, I think it's going to reach the 4.236, so that would be about a 10x, 10 to 11x. It'll likely go higher than that. Remember, these are just minimum targets. So yeah, about about a 12x from current price. It's holding nice here. I like this. I like to see these wicks over here. That indicates buy pressure. This could also be an ABC, right? This could be your 3 down in your A, 3 up in your B, and then we have a 5 down within our C with a truncation of the 5th wave. Now, very similar thing to that of PulseX and PLS. I want to see a move above this level so we can confirm a change of character or a change of structure before we have continuation. If we can't get that, then it's likely we'll come down towards these fibs, and then we'll see continuation up. But if you want a little bit more of a hint, then look towards PulseX and PLS, because I think those will move first, and then HEX will follow. Okay, let's take a look at incentive token over here. Okay, yeah, so this is looking good so far, as long as these supports hold. right? Possible bullish hammer over here. Bullish hammer candle on the weekly. And then we have our test. What I would want to see here going forward is a push back above this high so we can confirm bullish order flow. And when we look here on the hourly, we have a very similar structure. You guys see that? Just like we talked about, selling climax, automatic rally, secondary test, fail breakout, secondary test in phase B, slightly sweeping your secondary test lows, and then we would see the pop off from there. But I would want to see a move back above 271 so we can confirm a change of character. If we can't get that, then it's likely we still have more downside to go to around here, to around the 153 region, and then we would pop off from there. Okay, this is what I see so far. Okay, now for the targets, we would be taking a look at the 786 right here at 64, and we can also take a look at the 786 on the logarithmic scale as well. So that would be 25 and 64. You can also do it like this as well, where you can see what the one-to-one move is of this pennant is, and yeah, it's sitting around there at 25, 27 bucks. So this is the ecosystem. Let's take a look here at E-HEX. Okay, so E-HEX, if we take a look here at the weekly time frame, this is what I think. Okay, I think it still goes on its run. So you can pause the video, screenshot it if you want. Giving this content for free because I know how much the PulseChain community has suffered. So yeah, this is our first wave to the upside, and now it looks like we're coming down for an ABC correction, right? This is our 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. This is your first wave. Now we're coming down for an ABC correction, and we've come down towards the 50% fib, and there is a possibility we come all the way down towards the 786 before our next advance to the upside. So you would want to look for a bounce at any of the fibs below. So at the 50% all the way down to the 786. Worst case scenario, it comes down to the 886 at 0.00114. But so far everything is looking good structurally. We haven't invalidated the bullish count. So that's the good news. We haven't invalidated the bullish scenario. But yeah, this is what I think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. It does look like we are on the 30-week moving average. We're a little bit shy of it. So maybe we come down, tap it, and then we see a push off from there. But remember, these targets are subject to change. The analysis will change over time as the price develops. So if you want to stay updated with the analysis and with the Richard Heart ecosystem, then definitely click the link in the description below to join the Discord. You guys get access to all of these charts over here. I don't just analyze the RH ecosystem, I analyze pretty much any coin you want right over here. Really nice Discord, wonderful community. And we also have a PulseChain chat that you guys can be a part of. So hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. Take it easy. See you in the next one.